Alright guys, welcome back. Today I have another guitar unboxing and review video for you. Guys, look at this box. It looks like it has emerged slightly victorious from a mighty box battle. Now this is actually a brand that I have never checked out before. So let's go ahead and I'll put on my protective gear and then we'll get started. Alright guys, so like I said, it looks like this box has been through quite a journey to get to me. So, I always want to take appropriate safety precautions. So I'm just going to go ahead and put on some of my safety gear so I'm ready for any surprises that we might have. And then we'll just sort of go ahead and check this thing out here, alright? I got my letter opener. Excellent. Okay, I'm ready. Are you ready? Let's go ahead and get this thing open here. Alright, there we go. Like a hot knife through butter. One more precision cut here. There we go. Alright. Okay, so everything looks pretty good here. I think we're safe. Let me go ahead and take this off. It really gets the hair going. Alright, so now that we've got the box open, I think I can put away my box knife, remove the gloves, fix the hair. So now even though the box was pretty brutalized, it has a nice case inside here. And the case is wrapped in some foam. Oh, what's this? I'm not sure what this is, but we'll check that out later. So we can lift this case out. I'll go ahead and get rid of the box. All right, guys, now like I mentioned earlier, this is actually a brand that I have never checked out before. But one of my fellow YouTubers, Darrell Brown, has checked out this brand, and he seemed to be pretty impressed with it. So this is a Shiji guitar. And it's a Chinese brand, but let me talk a little bit more about that for a second. So I think Chinese guitars sometimes get a bad rap because so many people think of Chinese guitars as being, the most inexpensive guitars, the low-end Squiers and so forth. But here's the deal with that. China will make anything you want them to make at whatever price point you want, really. So, a lot of companies do rely on Chinese manufacturing to get very, very inexpensive guitars, of course. But if you go to a Chinese guitar manufacturer and you say, hey, here's a nice price point, make me a really, really nice guitar, they can absolutely do it. And I checked out a brand, I think about a year ago now, called Eastman, and they made a really beautiful Les Paul style guitar. That was, it was around $2,000. It was a beautiful guitar. Now this guitar here is nowhere near that expensive, but I'm expecting this still to be a very nice high-end guitar. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this plastic off here. And this case looks really nice, so if the case is any indication, then I think the guitar is just going to be beautiful. Get rid of the plastic. There we go. Okay, and nice heavy-duty zippers here. Okay, so the guitar itself is still wrapped in another layer of that nice foam plastic to protect it, even inside the case, although this is a very nice case. And yeah, I like this nice strap. It's got there's a nice neck support in here, nice foam. This is great. 10 out of 10 on the case. That's a good start. Okay, now there's something I should mention before we actually see the guitar itself, and that is that this guitar is a relic guitar. So of course this is, it's made to look like it's been around since the 70s. Being played a lot and everything. So, if you see some marks on the body, those are supposed to be there. Now, guys, I've actually really wanted a relic guitar for quite a while. I don't have any relic guitars, except, I guess, the Les Paul that I buried in the desert. Now it's a relic. I mean, I guess you could consider it a relic. I've actually just finished a new instructional program. It's called Guitar 1988. It's all about 1980s style playing. And I really wanted a relic guitar that I could use to, burn through all my favorite 80s shred licks. And I'll put a link for that down in the video description below, and there's a 50% off link down there as well. It's brand new. Check it out. Anyway, I'm hoping this guitar will be perfect for playing all of those licks. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and get it out of this foam plastic here and see what it really looks like. Ooh. Oh. All right, guys, so check this out. Beautiful Strat style guitar, relict, got a humbucker in the bridge. And guys, your eyes are not deceiving you. This is a beautiful roasted maple neck here. Now we're gonna plug this in and listen to it in just a second here, but something I can tell you right off the bat that I really love is this has really tall frets. And these are like specifically tall frets. You know, a lot of, let's say traditional Strat style guitars, you guys know what I mean. Sometimes they have like these old, vintage style small frets. I don't really like that. I'm a big fret guy, and in particular, I like tall frets, right? Because I like, more space between my finger and the fretboard. It makes it easier to do bending and vibrato and so forth. And this thing has 22 really nicely finished, very tall frets. It's a humbucker and 2 single coils here. And it also has this is a really cool looking bridge here. These saddles are really nicely shaped. Feels very comfortable, and it's got a press-in tremolo arm. Anyway, guys, I want to go ahead and plug this thing in so we can listen to how it sounds, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about some of the specs of this guitar, okay? Now, as always, guys, if you enjoy videos like this and you have not already subscribed, please consider subscribing right now. But let's go ahead and plug in this guitar and listen to how it sounds. All right, guys, let me tell you about the specs of this guitar, and then I'll give you a few impressions that I've had while playing it. So first of all, I think the real highlight on this guitar is this beautiful neck. This is Canadian quarter sawn roasted maple. And it's a one-piece neck and fretboard, right? So it's all one piece of wood. Now it does have a skunk stripe on the back, but even that piece of wood is actually flamed maple. I mean, it looks really cool. Like I mentioned earlier, it's 22 nice tall frets. And guys, these frets are finished really, really nicely. I'm not getting any buzzing or any sharp fret ends, anything like that. It's a 12-inch radius on the fretboard, and of course it's a standard 25.5-inch scale length like you'd expect to find on a Strat style guitar. Now up here, these are close-in vintage tuners, really, really nice. And of course, I didn't have any tuning problems at all with this guitar. No intonation problems, and it seemed to hold the tuning really, really well. Now I'm going to throw in some pictures of the trem cavity, and you guys can check out how nice the quality of the work is on this guitar. And look at that, it's got a brass sustain block on the bridge there. This is really nice. Now the pickups here, obviously we've got a humbucker bridge pickup and two singles in the middle of the neck position. These pickups are actually Japanese made, two Shiji specs, and this is called a Custom 59, and we've got the two Custom 62 single coils. For controls, we've got a 5-way switch, single volume, and 2 tones. Now as far as the finish, this is the vintage white Relic, and they also have a vintage blue as well. Now a word on the relicing on this guitar. This is not like a super heavy relic, and one thing that I really like about this is that they've really only reliced the body, and then of course you've got the kind of faded color of the pick guard, but they did not relic the hardware or anything like that. Sometimes I think companies go a little too far with the relicing, and you end up with hardware that, I mean, it's supposed to look sort of grimy, but I think it actually, it doesn't age well when you actually do put some hours into playing the guitar. That the relic hardware, it seems to age worse than the regular stuff. Okay, so I've been talking about how this is a high-end guitar, right? So how much does the guitar cost? Well, this guitar here and a lot of the guitars that are like this, the Shiji guitars, this is the STE model. They have a few different versions with or without relicing. They also have a version with stainless steel frets. The guitars are around $1,000. And I say around because some of them are less than that, some of them are more than that, and it all just kind of depends on the finish and the options that you want on the guitar. And guys, I know there's people writing stuff in the comments right now, oh, I don't want to pay that much for a Chinese guitar. Guys, you just got to get that mentality out of your brain and just throw it in the trash somewhere, because honestly, if you're going to overlook a guitar because of where it's manufactured, you're going to be missing out on a lot of really, really cool guitars. I've checked out guitars from Korea and China and Indonesia, and even, crazy countries that nobody's ever heard of, like Italy. And they can all make great guitars. I think the quality of this guitar really speaks for itself, and I just, I really want to encourage anybody out there who might still be stuck on, where a guitar is manufactured. Today, in 2020, guitar manufacturing has just gotten so good that things like that just don't really matter anymore. And honestly, aside from the guitar, I mean, the case is really nice. And guys, look at this little thing that came with the guitar. It's a little, it's like a little pick holder box. It's made out of nice wood. It came with some picks. I mean, this is great marketing, right? Because I'm going to set this on my desk, and I'm going to see it always whenever I grab a pick and be like, oh yeah, Shiji guitars. So guys, I know this is a brand that not too many people are familiar with, but I know there's probably some people out there who do own one of these guitars. So as always, guys, I would love to hear from any owners out there. What do you think of the guitar? Please leave your thoughts in the comments section below. That stuff is always really valuable for me and for everybody else watching. I'm going to put some links down in the video description below where you can check out the guitars. And also, don't forget, guys, I'm also going to have a special link down there to my new instructional video, my 1980s style instructional video, Guitar 1988. 50% off link down in the video description. All right, guys, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you soon.